Hello, welcome back to my channel. It's been a little while. I'm coming to you live from the vibrant city of Accra, Ghana. Well, the power is out at the moment, but hey, it is what it is. We're going to make the best out of it. So it's perfect time to record. But if you're looking at this, I'm sharing with you some recent updates on the property, and I will describe some of the things you're looking at the moment, and we'll go from there. So bear with me, let's get through it. All right, so here's the patio. We've made a few slight changes to help with some water issues that we've had, and I can explain that later. The kids' bathroom, we added a little bit of a stall so we can add the glass to enclose it versus the pre-made floor that we were going to put in. I wanted to show the doors. If you remember, these doors were quite dirty. It had smudges, and it had concrete splatters and everything all over them. But the caretaker of the house has been working diligently on cleaning and restoring these doors as much as possible. So here is what it looks like now. I'm pretty happy with it. There are a couple of doors that, it's just not possible to get it where we need it to be. So I will have that conversation a little bit further on in the video. But as you can see, he's working on cleaning them nicely and making them look decent, where I'm not freaking out every time I see it. So I'm quite happy with the outcome. He's worked so hard to get it to look this way. And you can see his bucket over there and his apparatus that he's been using to get things done. But yeah, it's been quite a chore for him, but he's been diligent, and I'm very, very appreciative of his efforts being put in there to make these doors look decent. So I wanted to show you before of some of those doors, and you saw what it looks like after he had cleaned them thoroughly. So before, here's what they look like, and dun dun dun, this door right here has some issues. Issues is understatement. As you all know, I've shared my grievances on this, door. The original door, if you look at the front door, which you would see later on, the quality of the main entrance door, which we paid, I think, 6,000 cedis for, that quality is still there. It's pretty strong. But this one right here on the patio, we've had some issues with it. As you can see, it's fallen apart. We've located a security door maker who says that they're able to recreate the facade in order to restore it. So they'll come and they would remove the front plate that is destroyed that you can see. It seems like there's a fiber material in there, almost like sawdust per se. I don't know what it is, but this might be an imitation of the original door, which is at the front door. The color is a little bit different. As you can see, this is a lighter cherry looking wood, whereas the original, which is on the main entrance of the building, is more mahogany. I wish I had inserted that in here for you to see it, but in the next video I will highlight the front door so you can see the difference. Now this is on the journey to what you saw before. This is the other side of the patio, and with the elements hitting it constantly, it's going to look just as bad as the other one. So the person we found is going to remove the front plate, recreate the design with metal, and replace it. What you're seeing down there is we created a little step because that top patio has not been covered with the pergola and a roof yet. The elements hit directly at that door, which brings in water. So when it rains extremely hard, some of the rainwater gets in. So we created a little bit of a step there to help with that. That little thing you saw with the iron rods, we're going to fill it with concrete to secure it, as I mentioned in past videos. But here are more doors that have been cleaned. It's like night and day. So I'm pretty pleased with what I'm seeing here. But you know, the doors, these doors, the one door versus the main door being the 1.5, the quality of these ones are different. These have not been affected as much because they're inside. So I have 8 of these doors, 8 of the one you just saw before this. I have 8 of those. And so all right, so although these doors are a little bit different from the other one, I actually prefer these. They seem to be a little more durable than the most expensive ones. As I mentioned before, there are 8 of those, and I'm concerned that they would all become like the one you saw upstairs eventually. Now, these are not in the element, so they're not in the element, so you know, they might stay a little nicer for a little longer. But I'm afraid that the ones upstairs that are hidden the element will not make it. Now, this is what the original should look like. This is what the original, the real quality security door looks like. It's much darker. It's a mahogany finish. And even though this is also an exterior door, is 1.5. This is the door that I purchased. As you can see, they mixed it up with some imitation. So this right here is what I'm referring to as the imitation. It doesn't look exactly the same. It looks almost cherry-like, and the material is of lower quality, even though I paid the same prices for these doors. So be on the lookout when you get shown a sample and you're going to pick up your products. Make sure you're inspecting them. They look exactly as they should be. Otherwise, you're going to end up in a situation like me. I have 8 of these, believe it or not, and I paid close to 3,500 cedis per each one of these doors that are horribly damaged. And I paid about 5,500 or 6,000 for the main front door, the real thing, the 1.5. So yeah, be on the lookout. Make sure you inspect the quality. And if you're not in the country when you get pictures, make sure the pictures are being taken in natural daylight where you can actually see exactly what you're purchasing. Because for me, it all looked the same, but then it's not the same quality. So I had to replace the gate because it got destroyed when this sand right here that we filled the compound with was delivered. So to fill up the compound, we had to order 3 trips of grade A or grade 1 sand to fill up the compound to prep it for landscaping. And so there are 2 qualities of that grade 1 sand, and I'll explain here in a second. What you see now here where they have the iron rods is us creating something that would make the patio railing a little bit more steady. Because as I mentioned in the previous video, it's a little wobbly. So that's what's going on there with the patio. So hopefully that would make it secured. Now let's go back to the filling in the compound. So we received 3 trips of grade A sand. The first 2 trips we received, the one that destroyed our gate, was very, very stony. It had bigger rocks in it. So we used that for the lower part of the filling where we had bigger holes to fill. We used those big rocks to fill that up. As you can see, these biodigesters and pumps are hidden. We don't want that because there's going to be more layers over it to get the compound together. So the plumber is going to come back and lift up these biodigesters and pipes that you're seeing. They have to be about a foot out when this stage happens in order for it to be sticking out, so that if you have any issues later on, it can be dislodged or your drainage system can be accessed and fixed. So right there where you see that pipe that has an opening, it's on purpose. We had to remove that opening and we would dig and drop that lower from where it was. We just needed to temporarily remove that pipe and wait for the plumber to get there to come do the burying of that pipe before any further compound filling work happens. So yes, as you can See, there's a little bit of chiseling that has been done on the wall that we're going to dress that up later as well. But compound's looking a little bigger than it did before. Yeah, you know, the good old borehole blue pump is sticking out, but it looks a little bit hidden now. We'll figure out a way to make it fit into whatever we're doing in the yard. It just sucks that it had to be there, but it's already there and there's not very much I can do about it, but to make the best out of it. Yeah. So this week the plumber's going to come and he's going to elevate the biodigester and the suckerways and also add about a foot higher for the pipes to be sticking out far enough so that if we have any issues, we can resolve it easily. So yes, this is an example of what we want it to look like. And so he's going to apply that method to every other pipe that's supposed to be sticking out to make sure, like that example, that has to be lifted a little bit. So there you have it. More to come. Stay tuned. Thank you for your support of my channel. Subscribe, like, comment, come back soon.